clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Thailand. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. Today we're doing Let's Talk Argyle. We've got some Argyle news. Got some confirmed news from the club. We've got some news that I've seen elsewhere that might be a good signing. It might be. Depends on how we use them, if we do get them indeed. But before I do all of that, please make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on. It does absolutely help us out over here. So today we're talking Luke McCormick. Now, not Super Luke McCormick. The Luke McCormick that was on loan at Bristol Rovers this season or last season, however you want to say it, and the one that's on loan, the one that is on Chelsea, that is at Chelsea, shall I say? He's a good player. I've got some stats here that I've seen of him, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I am pleasantly surprised. He's all right. I mean, do I think this would absolutely transform Argyle? Probably not. I mean, it would suggest we're going to start playing with a cam again, but if we're doing that, we might as well stick with Danny Mayer, because that's literally what he's very good at. But I'm not upset about getting Luke McCormick if we do get him in the end. Obviously, Derby and Birmingham are both in for him as well, but they've got more issues than you care to imagine. So I suppose the stability of Argyle, it depends on if it's a loan or a transfer. If it's a transfer, it's a bloody good one, I think. If it's a loan, it's not too bad. It adds a bit of depth. I mean, we are lacking a little bit of quality within the cam role. We've only really Danny Mayer that can do that role effectively. So, yeah, adding a bit of depth to that area is a good move. What I really want is 3 really good centre-backs that can cope with the league and can defend. I just want them to be able to defend. I don't ask for much, because we're playing with the DM as well as 3 centre-backs. We shouldn't really be having to do that too often. Not in the 3-5-2. So I'm hoping we can dismantle that DM role next season and just go with a cam. Because whilst Luke Jepcott and Niall Ennis and Hardy, they have the ability to put the ball in the back of the net, we do seem to be lacking a little bit of creativity in that element. So I just want to see us further up the field. I feel a bit like we did in League 2, where we are attacking a bit more. That would be perfect for me. Big up to Liam in the chat as well. Whenever my mouse starts to work, God knows what's going on there. Chris saying big up now. Liam saying you and I, mate, get Luke McCormick and our attack will be brilliant. I do hear that. I'm not against getting Luke McCormick. I'm really not. I think he does add to our attack, which is good. Yeah, Aaron, I'll sort you out the link now. There we go. I've sent you the link, Aaron, if you are there. My mouse is there we go. Oh no, that's where Bluetooth. But yeah, I've got your DM, mate. I do have your DM. But Luke McCormick, I've done a bit of research on the lad. Now at Bristol Rovers, he was good. He was good. There's no denying that he's not a quality player. That is for sure. But he is good. I am excited to see if we do get him. And we have to remember we are a good place to be. We're happy to play at. We're a good team with ambitions. Hector saying, "Nah, let's talk Liverpool." We got some Liverpool news coming up later. Actually, believe it or not, I've got some Liverpool news. You and United are fighting on a couple of transfers this summer. That's at 3 p.m. So we have transfer talk every 3 p.m. every day, 3 p.m. So we got a bit of news coming out there. So make sure you tune in there. wow, loving it. But I'm gonna add Aaron. Keep it locked. I absolutely will be. There'll be no revealing of what that information is. But I've done a bit of research on Luke McCormick. He played 36 games, 6 goals, 2 assists. But we have to remember he did play for relegated Bristol Rovers, who are a bit pony. So, Aaron, what do you think of it? Obviously, you're the one who actually notified me of this news. I last night I've been. It's just been so hectic and so busy over the last few days. News just seems to escape over my head. But what do you make of if we do get Luke McCormick? Is that sort of a signal of intent?
I think, when we're looking at the 3 clubs that are linked with McCormick, or seem to have been named to have been linked with McCormick, Plymouth, Derby, and Birmingham. Plymouth, out of those 3, is the most realistic destination, because Derby and Birmingham right now upstairs are not in a good place. Birmingham's CEO just walked away this season, so they're going to want to get back onto good terms with a new person leading the way, unless the whole ownership needs to change. We all know Derby's got major problems upstairs and what could be the takeover if it goes through. So Derby could be fucked anyway. I think that Plymouth. I think if you sign McCormick and bearing in mind Chelsea are letting him go, this is a permanent deal.
Wow.
Yeah, Chelsea are letting McCormick. Verified journalists have said Chelsea are letting go of Luke McCormick, and it'll be a free transfer to whoever. So if Plymouth get him on a permanent transfer, Jesus Christ, that is a statement of intent.
That's even bigger than I first originally thought. I thought it would be.
At first, it was a loan deal, but then it was revealed that Chelsea are going to let go of Luke McCormick, and it's going to be a free transfer to what could be Plymouth Argyle. So, mate, what a player you've got.
Now you've said that, we have to then ask future ambitions. So, yes, you can go to Derby, but they're looking like they're going to be. If they're not down yet, but they're certainly going down.
They're going to be down either this season. They're going to be down either this season, or they're going to be down next season. It's pretty much guaranteed, in my opinion. Birmingham will fight a relegation battle next season if they don't sort out their ownership and get a good CEO in to replace the one that's leaving. But
yeah, and that's the thing. You have to ask yourself where you want to go. Now, Birmingham, they're not a bad club, but is that really where you want to be? Because they've got issues. Derby have got more issues, as I've just said, than I care to imagine. So then you're nailing out Derby in a way. You're looking at Argyle and you're like, that's a smart move, because we're a forward-thinking club. We're suited elements of our play suit Luke McCormick. So his strengths are finishing. He likes to take a shot from outside the box. We need one of them. We need more people that can get goals from midfield. Not that we haven't already. I mean, Conor Grant and Danny Mayer have been absolutely superb. Could we see? I've said this just now, that I want to see that DM removed. I don't want to be playing with a DM. We play with 3 centre backs. We don't need a DM, right?
Yeah.
One Conor Grant as a box to box or whatever. I frankly couldn't give a toss. We don't play a 4 at the back. We play 3 at the back. I want to see the cam put back in, like we did when in League 2, like we did in the early stages of League 1. Just attack these teams, because when we attack, we're feared. We've got a strong attack.
You showed us against the Keep Mo. Even though you lost the game, you put us under the sword. And
Luke Jepcott, Niall Ennis, even Brian Hardy, to elements of his game. They are clinical. They know where the back of the net is. And that is important. So I want to see us put that cam in. Could a midfielder, Luke McCormick, Danny Mayer, and Connor Grant, that is sickening.
That is, I'm not even lying. I'm not even being overreactive, right? That is promotion contender worthy.
Yeah, and
that
then
is
when
a midfield that's worthy of promotion.
And if you look further forward above that, you've got Niall Ennis and Luke Jepcott.
All Plymouth need to do is just get good centre backs in, and you're promoted. It's done.
Tell me about it. I've said this so many times. We need to.
I made the mistake at the beginning of last season saying I don't think Hull's going to go up because their ownership's in tatters. I'm going to say this now. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday are going back up. The only ones that look like they could go back up at the first time are Rotherham and Wickham. But Plymouth, I think we could be within a shout now that we know who's boss. I think we've got a shout. People can laugh and say, "Oh, it's Donny Rovers. They'll always bottle it." Every single fan is confident about this one because it's someone who takes no BS, doesn't settle for second best, and who knows the club inside and out. So we've got a ambition to go forward, and we know we're going to make signing after signing all the way throughout this window. So I feel we're comfortable being that mix again next season.
It's just about how quickly they gel. We've seen this at Argyle many a time.
Yeah.
It's just how
this is Welland's first full season with one club. He's never spent a full season with a club. This is his first one, and it's his form, and it's the club where he made his name. So, mate, it's all about rebuilding now.
Might work. But back to Luke McCormick. As I said, strengths, finishing, long shots, defensive contribution. He does trap back. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
There are some weaknesses, and one of them is glaring to me, and it's something Ryan is going to have to deal with quickly. Both of them are not ideal, mind you. The first one is passing. He's a little bit lapsy-daisical with his passing. That will need to improve because I think that's
natural sometimes as a midfielder. Sometimes you can give away straight pass when you're trying to make creative movements. But the best thing for Ryan in that respect would either work around that or try and build a system in the same formation that will work with that.
It's a bit like Bruno in a way. And before people jump on my back and try and tell me I'm comparing Bruno Fernandes to Luke McCormick, I'm not. Luke McCormick is clear. What I'm saying is that they do play similar ways. They take them risky passes. I'm all okay with that as long as you've got Connor Grant able to track back and our defence ain't made of spaghetti. The one that glares to me, discipline. Last season, this kid picked up 9 yellow cards and 1 bloody red. That is horrific. Like, that is gonna need to be.
We wouldn't have taken him at our team because we've had no red cards this past season at all. The last red card was February 2020 for us.
I don't mind the red card. It's more the continuous yellow cards that he picks up every minute of the day. It alarms the shit out of me. And look, we'll talk about this more with Charlie on the EFL show at 6:30.
Yes,
because this is ideal for him to talk about.
This is a big story, along with our new manager. This is a big story for the EFL show today.
Well, yeah, I mean it's bigger than Bristol Rovers, whatever they've done in recent years. But no,
letting go of Luke Lay to Shrewsbury.
Jeez. But yeah, in terms of discipline, that does concern me. Now, I've looked at some stats. I do like having a little gander at stats and seeing what I got. Big up to who scored for these stats. The first one I got, tackling 1.4, interceptions 1.1, gives away a 1 foul a game, makes 1. Now, for a cam, that's actually not bloody bad. It also suggests to me that when at Bristol Rovers, he wasn't really playing much of a cam, if he's doing that. But that's not too shabby for me, is it?
No, I think his stats are honestly, this transfer has Plymouth Argyle wanting Championship football written all over it. It's perfect. He's from a Premier League club. He's got that top club ambition. He's got the attacking.
He's on loan at Rovers as well, wasn't he? So he's already accustomed to Southwest.
Yeah. He knows the area. He knows the surrounding area. He's perfect around that area. This is a perfect signing for Ryan Lowe. And look at the discipline sort of area. I think if you brought in like someone who's like a backup or will play games when McCormick doesn't play in that same position but plays a similar style, then that's even better.
Ryan will solve discipline issues.
He'll
And we got
down
that.
on
And look, we got Danny Mayer who can play that role
he's
as well.
A great player. Great player.
I actually see Danny Mayer dropping a bit deeper this year. Next season. However,
it's a shame. It's a shame how his career ended with Berry, but I think he's a great player.
He's rejuvenated himself under Argyle. That's he's rejuvenated it under Argyle. That's for sure. But I do see him dropping a bit deeper. I see him in that sort of advanced, that deep line playmaker role. Which I'm actually not too upset about. We'll see about that one. But look, we need depth. We do need depth. It's one thing that I have been critical of past Argyle managers, that we haven't had the depth. So look, that's good. Attacking stats. These are the ones to look at. And remind you, we've got a set piece specialist called Connor Grant who loves a good free kick. So there's one of these stats that my eyes wide open, I nearly came on the spot when I saw it. I absolutely loved it. So he has 1.9 shots per game, which is good. I like that. He makes 0.8 key passes per game. He makes 0.6 dribbles per game. He's dispossessed once per game, which isn't too bad. This is the bit. This is the bit that got me. He's fouled 1.8 times per game. Yes, that means free kicks in and around that area. It was that I loved it. I was happy, very happy seeing that, especially if he can create that Argyle. Because look, that Connor Grant, would you like a free kick on the edge of the area? I absolutely would. Yes, I do. Hector saying nice image. Thanks. I do apologise if that image has offended anyone. But no, I basically said I came on the spot when I saw that he had been fouled 1.8 times. My analogies are amazing. But what do you make of them attacking stats?
Oh, mate, it's not even just the fact that it's great stats. It's the fact that there's still potential to grow even more, especially in a team like Plymouth that are pushing up the league now and getting closer and closer to that championship return every year. It's looking amazing, and you put McCormick in there with those players. It just makes it even better. It just fits Ryan Lowe's system so much. And I think that Plymouth could be arguably the most if they can avoid injuries and suspensions, and if they've got the quality to back it up on the bench as well for any games that the first teamers don't play. I think Plymouth could have arguably one of the most dangerous attacks next season. 100%.
No, I do hear that. And look, for me, McCormick has got everything that I want. Can we get the deal done? And look, if this is going to be a free transfer, Ryan, just get it done, mate. Just get it done. We don't normally fuck about. And this is where I saw that his weakness was passing, so I wanted to have a look at the stats for passing. That is key for me, understanding the player more. It helps. And look, I'm not basing this transfer just on stats. I have to do I have to for an element, but I can look at after I've done this stream, I am going to be looking for some YouTube videos, seeing what we're really going to be potentially getting. I just didn't have time. I'm gonna do this.
To be honest, I'm gonna do the same with like other players that will like any others. Like there's a few, like a couple of transfer links, like Jack Payne, etc. already, but like not many because obviously the new manager's just come in. So I'm just gonna wait for like any more targets to start coming up and have a look. But I mean, if we can get Jack Payne, it's a start from his Swindon days, and obviously like the people released from Salford, like Darren Gibson and James Wilson, etc. And Richie's son, Charlie, who's in the Man United Academy, the 18-year-old, who looks a pretty good prospect. So I'll have to have a look at.
I don't think I'll touch James Wilson and Darren Gibson with barge pole, just purely on the basis of they've not made it in League Two.
No.
So what on earth makes them think they're going to make it in
I
League
just
One?
think it's I just think it's the Salford Wellens link with us.
Yeah, there's elements that will happen. I mean, we were linked with every Bowie player under the sun, and actually most of them came. Yeah, sometimes that will happen. That's a lot of it is just lazy journalism. I mean, well, I'm thankful that because Ryan hasn't managed a shit ton of clubs, we're not linked with every goddamn player under the sun. Normally, with who we're linked with, it's normally players that we're looking at getting. Big up to Velv in the comments. Hi lads. Big up to Velvishwan. Always joining in when we do. And as I say, transfer news 3 p.m. Botman. What's he said? He's come out and had a little chat with someone. Sancho. And where's he going? He's definitely joining a red team. He's definitely joining a red team. But what team is it? And Erling Haaland. Is he joining Chelsea?
Nah.
No, he is not. Apparently,
he's not leaving. He's not leaving.
So make sure you check us out at 3 p.m. for that. As always, the link will be in the chat for you to come on and have your say about that. Transfer Talk has really excelled. I've loved doing it. But let's look at the passing stats for Luke McCormick. And as I said, after we've still got a little bit more news on Argyle, so I'm excited to share that news as well. The passing stats, though, he makes about 23 passes per game. His passing accuracy is 68.4. Yeah, I can handle that. His long balls are 1.7, so he'll do about 2 long balls per game. Looking at them stats, I'm not upset about long balls. We don't tend to play too many long balls anymore. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But those stats, you can work with them and you can really see something about them, can't you? And also big up to Mason Greenwood in the chat. We love to see it.
Yeah, I can understand them. The passing stats aren't as bad as what I thought they'd be. I think that they're good. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're satisfactory. They're all right. And I think if they're at least all right, then you've got a decent player on your hands, especially with those attacking stats. So I think, again, it just highlights the point that McCormick is a Plymouth promoted signing written all over it.
I mean, look, I'm not going to argue with that. The chances of this deal happening, so there's 3 clubs, as we've said, that are in the running.
There's 3 named clubs. We don't know if there's any more, but there's 3 named clubs.
Yeah,
officially.
Let's go with the 3 named clubs. They're probably the ones that have got the serious interest. So let's look at them. So we've got Plymouth Argyle, we've got Derby County, and we've got Birmingham City. Let's go percentages. So out of 100, what are we saying Derby's chances of signing Luke McCormick are?
I'm going to go with 20%.
Okay. And what are we saying that Birmingham's chances are? What I'm going to say 30% for Derby, just because I do think that being in the Championship will help them, but I don't think it's a necessity. What about Birmingham? What's their chances of getting their hands on Luke McCormick?
I've gone with 25%, so just a little bit above Derby.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with the let's say 40% chance. What are we saying for Argyle? What's our chances of grabbing this young man?
It's got to be 55%.
55. I've gone with I mean I've gone with about 60. So I think there's a 60% chance of we'll sign him.
I just split the 100% into 3 and thought it was most.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to do that much. But no, look, that's saying that obviously me and you are not transfer experts by any means.
No.
It's not a bad one, and look, we'll discuss it with Charlie, and I'm sure he'll banter and say, "Oh, he'll never join a League One club." I think it's more about ambition, isn't it? It's
Why do you think he left the Rovers?
Yeah, can you believe in that philosophy? Can you believe in what you're being told? So can you believe that Ryan Lowe has said within the next 3 years that we want to be a sustainable championship club. I think you can believe that. I think there's elements of that happening. Can he believe that Derby is still going to be in the championship in 3 years' time? That's not something I can believe on. And look, this isn't me being salty. This is just Derby have got more issues than you care to imagine. Birmingham, I think, will stick up, but I don't think Birmingham's the best place to be.
They're not going in the right direction for me. I think Birmingham are just happy staying in the championship. They're not aspiring to be where they were a decade ago under Alex McLeish in the Premier League, and getting into that Carling Cup final and beating Arsenal and winning the Carling Cup and being a Europa League team even though they were relegated that season, they were still in the Europa League, and they don't have those ambitions anymore. So I think why do you think McCormick left Bristol Rovers? # Barton's a fraud. It's I think McCormick wants to be in an ambitious place. Sorry, Charlie. And but yeah, McCormick, the place for him is Plymouth Argyle. Derby's just not got the best issue. They've got the best owners right now, and the takeover that could be happening, and the potential talk of owners that could be coming in. That I don't feel like they're as good as I don't think they're just as bad as the Eric Alonso, because obviously involved in that one you've got the name that was mentioned with the Charlton previous ownership that took them nearly out of business. So they could have gone out of business if it wasn't for Sangard. So it was immediate problems from Derby from the beginning. Birmingham's CEO is corrupt. Their owners are corrupt. It's not going to get better unless they get new owners. So Plymouth's the only destination for me for ambition out of the three.
Yeah, and look, I've got the table here. Derby, obviously, as we all know, stayed up with a point last year.
But if they get the points deduction this season, it'll be Wycombe staying up, which won't be happening, but it'll be a 12-point deduction next season. The only way, though, they can avoid it is apparently, according to an article, a verified article recently, the only way they can avoid a points deduction at all, or at least double figures points deduction, is a new takeover literally in the next month or two.
And that probably won't happen.
So
yeah, you're starting the season with the 12 points deduction. That means, well, as we saw with Sheffield Wednesday, unless you've got a killer team, and judging by Derby, staying up by a point.
Yeah. They're gonna lose the best players like Martin Waghorn and players like that. They're gonna lose them to other clubs and stuff like that.
And that's the thing. If you go into Derby, you're destined to go down. I think Derby.
They're going to lose the first teamers. They're going to be having a bunch of kids playing, and they're going to lose nearly every game, in my opinion.
I think Derby are in deep trouble, and look,
I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for them.
So do I. But Derby look like they're going down. Birmingham, look,
they'll be in for another relegation. They'll be in another relegation battle if they don't book up their ideas up top.
And the thing is, if you come to Argyle, we're in League One, but as I say, it's about looking around you, and it's about believing in what you're told. And if we can get our story and get it across fairly well, then I think he'll be keen. But look, Luke McCormick signing would be a great start for Argyle. It would by no means be all we do. We have to do more. We have to have ambition, and we have to sign players. The next bit of news that I want to discuss before we do start wrapping up is the new contract that was given to Ollie Tomlinson. Ollie Tomlinson came through our youth academy. It's another one of our youth academy. Ryan firmly believes in youth, which is fucking brilliant. It's brilliant to see. Ollie Tomlinson, another young player given another contract. I'm just going to go get the details of Zed contract now.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, I'm actually not very prepared. I'm a very unprepared person. But Ollie played last season, a couple of games towards the end of the season. He made his full debut against Gillingham at last game of the season. Plenty of that. Big up to Mystic Wolf in the chat as well. Always supporting the channel. It's lovely to see. Big up to yourself there. Where's the length? Give us the length of the contract then. Where's the length? Is this right? Pen the new deal.
Mate, I was
Literally.
not prepared going into this. I just took knowledge of McCormick and went with it, but I don't know anything about this next story because I've been rushed off my
Well,
feet from 7 a.m. this morning, waiting for the Wellens announcement. So
I'm just waiting for. I'm just seeing how much it fucking is. They haven't put it.
It was somewhere. I can try and find it as well.
Pending new deal. Give us the length of the contract. Rewarded with a first-team professional deal last summer. Ryan Lowe said, I'm delighted for Ollie. He's worked really hard and is fully deserving of an opportunity to continue his development at Argyle. He had to be patient for his chance last season, but his attitude was first class and he gave a good account for himself when he got into the team at the end of the season. It's only fair and right we give him the chance to keep pushing and improving the club, and we look forward to seeing what he can do in the year ahead. Upon signing the new deal, Ollie said, obviously over the moon. I spoke to the gaffer before the Gillingham game and he pulled me in. Gaffer said, we're going to give you the start as well as renew your contract. It's massive news for me and my family. It's obviously reassuring that I'm going to be here next season. I can relax on the game and focus on my football. Could be a year. Could be a 1-year contract.
Yeah, it's looking like a year. I just read the statement as well. So it looks like it could be a whole year, but I think, you know, the more it develops, the more it'll extend into extra year contracts as well. So I don't think there's any like worry if it is just 1 year confirmed. I don't think there's any worry about that. I think it's just testing him out for a year, see how it does, see how it develops, and we'll go from there. So I think it's quite sensible actually from the board.
Yeah, I'm seeing what Chris Errington's put, because Chris Errington is, as Argyle fans would know, is
I saw him on Twitter. I saw him on Twitter because he retweeted Wellens' back post and said the rivals have got a new manager.
Yeah, well,
I'm seeing Swindon, Leighton Orient, and Bradford fans crying that they didn't get Wellens instead. So,
just seeing what is again nothing from Chris on length.
No, might more details in the future later this afternoon.
It could be. I think it's probably a year.
Yeah, I think it's a year. It sounds a bit.
Can't really see any date or length.
It just says ready for the start of the 2021-22 campaign,
which could be a year.
And to be fair, though, I think that's sensible by the board because it's like testing the waters in a way before you give him a long-term contract and you know, keeping your full commitment onto this young up-and-coming talent. So I think it's sensible.
Yeah. Right. So. Let's look a little bit about the squad before we do wrap up. Oh, look, Ollie Tomlinson, a year contract. Big up to yourself. I hope you do very well. But let's have a little look at what we've got at Argyle for next season already. So we've got 8 players under contract for next season. Come on, you Greens. Just another 3 more players, and we've got a full squad.
Is this the first time in like a decade that we've got more contracted players than you guys have for the next season?
We always have issues like that. We have always got issues like that. But we've got and 3 of those are strikers now: Lennis, Ryan Hardy, and Luke Jepcott. The Pilgrims' 18-goal top scorer this season.
I think it's 13 actually, because if you include Oliver Thompson, and I think a couple
obviously you got a few more now. Players who sign later in pre-season are often left behind the rest of their new teammates when it comes to fitness, and they run the risk of picking up injuries as they try to catch up with them. Argyle's 4 other under contract players: goalkeeper Mike Cooper, teenage defender Ollie Tomlinson, plus the midfield trio of Panucci Camara, George Cooper, and Adam Randall. Plymouth Argyle. Right, so new look central defence. Yes, boys, new look indeed. By far and away, the most pressing need for a Pilgrims boss is to rebuild the defence, which has been completely dismantled. That is one way of putting it. Club captain Gary Sawyers retired to injury. Will Aimson was released, and lone trio of Jerome Opoku, Keelan Watts, and Sam Woods have all returned to their parent clubs and don't ever come back. Is what I will say on that one. Teenage defender Ollie Tomlinson has just signed a new deal, but is likely to be loaned out next season in the hope he can make the same sort of progress that Adam Randall has done at Torquay United this season. There has been wishful thinking of part of the Green Army, who have called for Lowe to sign former Argyle defender Sonny Bradley, who seems set to leave Championship club Luton Town as a free agent.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw that. I think Ipswich are the names that are going to sign him, apparently.
I'm fucking delighted, but that is not going to happen. But someone in the mould of Bradley.
Sources, I can say from sources 100%, it's Ipswich Town that are the likely names to sign him.
Yeah.
In fact,
it's annoying because
I think they've even approached him for a new contract already. So I think Ipswich is the first to approach him and he could accept it.
It's annoying because I do like Sonny Bradley, but what's Chris said? Chris has said this is not going to happen. But someone in the mould of Bradley, a fierce competitor, a leader by example, who will put his head in where it hurts, is exactly what the Pilgrims need, and more than one of them as well. Yes, we could do with a couple. Youth and willingness to learn and improve is a good thing, but in the football squad, but in defence particularly, cannot be having some experience and game know-how as well. I would 100% agree with that. Whether Lowe plays with 3 central defenders or a flat back 4, he is going to need 4 new signings to compete for the first team places. Perhaps one of them could be promising player on loan from the Premier League, but the others will likely possess a good amount of experience, ideally in League One or the Championship. Chris knows the club. He's got the sources inside the club. For him to be saying that suggests to me that Ryan or someone's come out and went, look, we know we fucked up last year. We're sorting it. The next one, fullbacks and wingbacks, with Lowe showing a willingness in the closing weeks to switch tactics from a 3-man central defence to a flat back 4. He will need to find players who can either play a fullback or wingback, depending on the formation. Player of the Year Joe Edwards showed he could do that on the right, but with the release of Byron Moore, a new signing needs to come in to compete for a place with the Argyle skipper. On the left, Lowe's 21-year-old Ryan Law as an option with George Cooper can play wing-back and provide excellent crosses for fine strikers. It is no coincidence that with Cooper out injured for the final 4 months of the 2020-21 campaign, the goals dried up for Argyle strikers and Luke Jepcott in particular. Cooper is not suited to playing at left-back because the defensive demands that position, so it is definitely an area of that squad that needs to be strengthened. That could lead with Cooper playing in midfield more often, with Law fighting at a first-team spot for fullback or wing-back with the summer signings. I don't expect to see Lowe move too far away from this 3 at the back. I really don't.
Yeah.
Do I want us... Look, I think getting someone in to play left-back would be good, but we've got Ryan Law, George... Look, I mean, it's up to him. I would probably keep with them too. And look, if we have to switch to a flat back 4, play Law there. Conor Grant can also play left back as well sometimes.
I was going to say, I think he played left wing back a couple of times when he was on loan from Everton to us a few years ago. So
yeah,
he can definitely play in that position. I would like to see them maybe bring in just, even if it's just a season loanee from a Premier League club, one on each side, just to give you a bit of extra depth in that position. Maybe. I think even that would be all right.
Maybe, yeah. I'm
but only top quality loans. That's what we're looking at. Only top quality ones.
Yeah, no, I do hear that, and
can't get another Kellen Watts or Jeremy Opoku. You can't get that.
No. Attacking reinforcements.
I think Opoku might be banned in the Plymouth dictionary now.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on him. Attacking reinforcements, as stated above, Argyle already have 3 strikers on their books, and all of them are age 23 or under. So they have plenty of scope for improvement under working under Lowe, a former forward himself. Now, Niall Ennis netted 6 times after signing on a permanent transfer in January. With the full pre-season under his belt, you'd hope he can really settle in and make an impact next season. The goals dried up for Luke Jepcott at the end of the season, with none of his 18 coming after February 6th. but to reach that total in his first full season in the Football League still represents an excellent achievement. Perhaps the physical demands of a season long took their toll, and maybe confidence in front of goal was an issue too at the end. But make no mistake, Jepcott is a natural finisher. Ryan Hardy brings something different to the mix, the ability to run in the channels and get behind opposition's defence, which is a very useful option to have. However, what Argyle do lack is a number 9, someone who can lead the line, and provide both height and power. If Lowe can find someone experienced, and does not mean they have to be age 30 or over, but they have played a good amount of first team football, then that would be a good tick in the box when it comes to summer recruitment. The last one that the Plymouth Herald was saying, I don't look necessarily. A striker is not my foremost. It's not in my head straight away. I'm not too fussed. That's not something that is life or death of getting. The last one, second goalkeeper, Ryan Lowe rates Mike Cooper highly, as shown by the fact that a 21-year-old was an ever-present for the 46 league games in this season. Recently signed a new contract with the club until the summer of 2024. However, the Pilgrims boss has made it clear he wants to add a goalkeeper to the squad to challenge Cooper. If nothing else, Lowe will want to ensure that the presence of another keeper makes sure Cooper keeps performing to a high and consistent level. Cooper carried out that role when he was back up to on loan Alex Palmer at Argyle's 1920 League 2 promotion winning campaign. There are always a risk of injury for suspension or for any player. Having 2 good dependable keeper options is important for any team with aspirations of success. Any new recruit in this area of the squad would know that Cooper is likely to start next season between the posts, but would have the belief that they could take their chance should they get it during the campaign. Look, again, I agree. We do absolutely need to look at a second goalkeeper. That for me is more than clear. Yeah. Who do you have any suggestions for a second goalkeeper that we could have?
Well, I was just reading that article while you were reading it, and I don't think. Look, striker's not the most. It's not the position that's needed. In terms of the second goal,
I'm shocked.
I think that a second goalkeeper, in terms of who you want to get, I think you look at League 2 and you look at what he did with Alex Palmer, from on loan from West Brom. I think if you're going to bring in someone, it has to be someone again along that top quality loan criteria. Someone that's going to, keep Michael Cooper on his toes. Someone that's going to keep him working hard, keep him working under the level that we know that he's working at the moment. Make sure he earns that contract, not just take it and run. So I think just a top quality, maybe even a Premier League club goalkeeper on loan for the season, just to keep Michael Cooper on his toes, but someone who can rotate in and out with Cooper if they have bad games. So I think just someone top quality that can, help Cooper.
And just to look, Cooper is for me my favourite Argyle player. It's why I rep him on Twitter. I absolutely love the lad. He's fucking brilliant. But yeah, of course he's just like anyone that needs a bit of someone to kick him up the ass if he's not quite doing it.
100%.
The last bit I want to look at is Ryan Lowe's come out and explained why it did not work out for certain players at Argyle last season. I have a few suspicions. So what's it saying? Midfielder Ben Reeves was not suited to Argyle's style of play. Manager Ryan Lowe has admitted, as he discussed the Home Park exit for former Northern Ireland international. The 29-year-old arrived at Home Park with a proven League One pedigree last summer when he was signed by Lowe on a 1-year contract after pre-season trial period. Reeves knew all about the third tier of English football after 2 spells with MK Dons and 1 with Charlton, and it was thought that his experience would be valuable for newly promoted Pilgrims. However, after missing the start of pre-season training, it took him a time to get up to speed with the rest of the squad. Reeves did not make his first competitive appearance for Argyle until a month into the campaign as a substitute in the 1-0 League One defeat away to Hull City in the start of October. The midfielder went on to make a total of 32 appearances, but only 8 of them were 5 starts, and just 5 of those came in the league. Right, I've butchered that. The midfielder went on to make a total of 32 appearances, but only 8 of them were 5 starts, and just 5 of those came in the league. There we go. Well, Chris Ellington needs to learn to comprehend English a bit better. The last one was the season-ending 1-0 defeat away to Gillingham on Sunday, when the busy Reeves was one of the Pilgrims' best players. Argyle's retained list was announced the following day, and Reeves was among the 10 out-of-contract players not to be offered new deals. Lowe said Reevesy is a fantastic footballer, a lovely person, a great lad to have around, but didn't suit my style. Another midfielder at Lowe signed last summer, Lewis McCloud, is also being released by Argyle, with his 1-year contract running out at the end of June. A player undoubtedly ability, McCloud was unable to stay fit with injuries troubled him throughout the campaign. It meant the 26-year-old Scottish midfielder only made 12 starts and 5 substitute appearances, with his last coming at the 6-0 thrashing by Charlton at home park. Lowe said you could see his quality in his games. He played for us, but it wasn't to be. He tried his best, but he couldn't stay fit. Also being released a striker front Noble's defender Scott Wooten, who went out on loan to Colchester and Wigan respectively. Noble had arrived at home park last summer on a 1-year contract after leaving Colchester, but found first-team starts and goals hard to come by. You're telling me. The 21-year-old made a total of 15 starts and 16 substitute appearances for the Pilgrims, but only netted twice. Yeah, something like that. Lowe said, I spoke to Front the other day. He said, I wish I had worked with you a few years ago when I was a little younger, but he was looking somewhere for a new contract. Wooten had been a regular for Pilgrims when they were promoted to League Two in the 1920, but his game time was limited this term before his loan to Wigan. Lowe said Scotty is a fantastic lad. He got us back up from League Two and had a fantastic season. Now he has moved on and is hopefully going to earn himself a contract elsewhere. Very blunt about Scott Wooten. Very, very fucking blunt. I fuck knows what's going on there. I mean, I would have probably taken Scott Wooten over one of the youngsters, but hey, that's just me personally. What do you make of what Lowe's saying? Clearly, he knows what he wants to do. Clearly, he has a style of play. He wants to implement it. If it's not implemented the way he wants it, they're gone. What do you make of what he's come out and said in recent interviews?
Well, I think firstly, and I can reference this back with my club, if you admit your mistakes and you admit that they've not turned out to be the signs you thought they were going to be, then it shows you're a man. It shows you got balls to admit your mistakes and you admit where you went wrong. And I think that Ryan Lowe's one of those characters that'll have the strength and the balls and the courage to rectify that. I think that he sounds, he's not, sugarcoating it. He's not, not doing any of that. He's blunt. He says, this player just didn't work out. We know what we need to do now. And I think, again, this is another aspiring step for Plymouth, because I think Ryan Lowe, he knows what he wants to do. He knows what kind of players he wants to bring in. And I do believe that recruitment will be better than the previous season. Yes, the previous season sort of brought players in like Niall Ennis and players like that who were great. But obviously, the players that weren't great, like the loanees at the back, etc., and Reeves and people like that, they just weren't great signings. So I think that in that retrospect, I think it will be a better recruitment job this next upcoming season rather than the season just gone. Because I think the previous season just had some good ones and not all good ones. I think potentially this upcoming summer it'll be nearly all good ones. I've got a feeling about Plymouth. Really good feeling.
Well, most of them last summer were shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of them got let go for free, to be honest.
Look, for me, I'm going to be doing my end of season review. It's very late, Argyle fans. I do hugely apologise for that. When you're covering Argyle plus Premier League, it's very difficult to find it. But I have got mine planned for Saturday. I've released mine. It was a long one. It took a while, but I've finally got it out there after months of no sleep. So Yeah, I'm about to start researching ours and having a little look and doing player
Yeah,
ratings. Obviously, we know who's gone, so I mean that
yeah.
I don't have to worry about. But look,
All I
it's
did, to be honest, all I did for mine was go through the season stats, how many we won, how many lost, how many drawn, place in the table. I also saw some interesting stats from the first 23 games to the next 23 games of the season, so each half of the
yeah,
season. Just give an overall average rating for each player. So I just counted up all the ratings that I gave each player throughout the match days of the season, and then just put it through like an average calculator and then that number out of 10. And then I just spoke about what positions we need to improve. And then I was like, we need a whole new squad in every position. We need like a new player in every position this summer. We need a new
yeah.
player in every position, mate.
My,
It's going to be wicked.
Mine's going to take a while to do as well. It's going to, I'll put it this way, Argyle fans, it's certainly going to take me a lot longer to do and to get it ready than it is to stream it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But look, I'll be doing similar. As start of season was great, end of the season was horrific. What more can you say about it?
That's pretty much our story. Start of the season was promising.
Yeah.
Second half of the season was a complete surrender. It's like the French Les Miserables. It was the French surrender.
Fuck knows what happened to our end of season. But we are going to wrap it there. I'll be back in 1 hour with transfer talk. As I said, some big news coming out of the Premier League and out of a couple of clubs, Manchester United and Liverpool, looking at Botman potentially. Botman has come out and spoke, though, so we'll see what he's saying. Sancho could be joining a team in red. Will it be Merseyside or will it be Manchester? That is the bit that we'll be discussing in transfer news later. And Erling Haaland might not actually be going to Chelsea. So that means Chelsea are going to have to look elsewhere for
I
that
don't think
striker.
Haaland's going anywhere, to be honest. I think he's staying at Dortmund for another year.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm sugarcoating it in a way to keep them interested, to keep them keen. But as I said, I'll be back here in an hour after I've gone and cooked myself a bacon sarnie, because that actually is the perfect way to do it. So I'm going to go do that. I've got the research done. I've done the thumbnail. I'm on a roll today. But as I said, end of season preview is coming at Saturday at some point. All the Premier League games are on the Sunday. There is no weekly review show this weekend. This week, I'm doing a special show at 8:30, so tune in for that one. Go check out our socials at Let's Talk EPL on Twitter and on Instagram at Let's Talk EPL_. Go check out us on TikTok at Let's Talk Premier League. And Aaron, where can they find you?
So, of course, you can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, where we've just hit the 600 followers mark, which is unbelievable. And we're on the road to a case, so we're going to hit that hopefully soon. And also from a football DRFC, as you can see by my logo, my new logo, we've had a complete rebrand for next season. I don't know if you can see it now, but new logo for next season. So you won't be able to see viewers this close, this far away, but going from left to right, Adam Lockwood, one of our defenders from the noughties, up there, Alec Jeffrey, who's a World War player, one of our best players of the old generation. Next to him, James Coppinger, of course, legend. And then under him is Harry Gregg, the legendary Man United goalkeeper, who is also Donny born and bred. So, complete rebrand, new thumbnails. Just launched the Wellens video, my first thoughts. So go and check it out on there. And this is going to be a very fruitful summer, my friend. It's going to be a hectic transfer window. We're going to be one of the busiest clubs in football at the minute. And mate, I'm not going to lie, mate. I'm going to say this more on the EFL show, but I'm so excited about this summer because I've got a feeling we're going to have a whole new squad and a whole new mentality. I'm really excited. I'm not lying. Of course, you guys can check us out on the EFL show, 6:30 on the First 11 YouTube channel. It's going to be brilliant. Bantering Bristol Rovers getting relegated, and see what happens with Donny Rovers next season. And Plymouth as well.
It's just basically going to be a banter show tonight. I've already decided.
Yeah,
we've got a bit of news to cover as well from our clubs anyway.
Yeah,
knows what
absolutely.
Charlie's got for us. But we've got
I mean,
rebrand coming.
Charlie's got his retained list. You've got your new contract and the Luke McCormick story, and I've got our new manager, so it's all good.
Yeah,
And our assistant manager as well. Our assistant manager is going to be the assistant with Richie Wellens at Swindon, the former Northern Ireland striker Noel Hunt, which is nice. So.
As I said, we've also got a rebrand coming up as well as we go into the Euros. Check out all of that. 2 new shows coming. One of them is a rebrand of a certain show on a Monday. So make sure you check us out there. We've also got a new logo for England and for the home nations. We are the only channel that is covering in depth all 3 home nations taking part in the European Championship.
I can agree with that. I only cover England this year, so I can agree with that.
I've got Wales and Scotland being covered as well. So we are, as I say, we are the only channel with that.
There's no Ireland, is there?
There's no Ireland. Ireland would have been easy to cover as well. We are the only channel covering all in depth of the home nations that are taking part in the European Championships. That means watch-alongs for all 3 of them. It also means an individual show for England. We may have individual shows for Scotland and Wales. That I'm unsure about as we approach the Euros.
I'll definitely want to come on the shows during the Euros. Absolutely
will be happening. But also, me and Saul, some point this week, will be coming together. I'm thinking more Saturday. I need to have a little chat with him. But most likely Saturday is a good day. It's quite a quiet day. Saturday, well, it's quiet in terms of football. It's going to be banging on the channel because Southgate announces his on the Tuesday, so we want to get in there first and announce our 26-man squad. I actually need to come up with my 26-man squad. I've not been doing very well.
Is it this Tuesday he's announcing it?
No. Next Tuesday after the final game of that.
I'd be very interested to see who's going to be in there.
So will I. That is definitely something that we are.
Will Alexander-Arnold get in there? Will there be a change of heart and Trent gets in the squad? Will Jack Grealish get in there? Is he fit enough? Will Maguire be fit enough? Who knows?
I mean, that's certainly going to be the issues. I'm just jotting down the positions that I want to take.
With Maguire injured, is Tom Anderson going to leave Donny and go for the England squad?
I mean, I know that I'm not taking no 3-man defense. That's not happening with me. I'm as we're talking, I'm just writing down the positions I want to take.
I think with England we need a 4 at the back, in my opinion. We don't need to be playing 3 at the back. It's just not a comfortable system for especially with the attacking players we've got in our squad. I think it's better playing the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3. I just think it's just better.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's just, will Southgate agree?
If he doesn't, it could get him the sack.
I'm just jotting down.
And I care about the 3 lines club. So if we don't get a good finish and we look poor, I will, in a family-friendly way, I'm sure you'll not do it in a family-friendly way, but I will rip into Southgate this summer if we don't do well.
There'll be no family-friendly.
I will rip him a new arsehole and clean it up with a mop. I'll clean up the damage with a mop.
There will be no family-friendly.
There'll be hell to pay.
There would be no family-friendly way with me ripping into a goalkeeper's easy. I'm actually doing it now.
Basically, watch this space because there could be hell to pay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as said, we've got our teams coming out that I'm slowly in doing mine. I'm filling the bits that are quite easy.
I might, to be fair, that's given me an idea. I might do a video before next Tuesday, sort of saying who I think would be in my 26-man squad.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can even join ours. We're always looking at getting people on as well. As I'm just doing the easy bits that.
I mean, I hadn't decided yet whether I'm doing like watch-alongs on my channel for the Euros or I'm going to go on to yours and do be part of your watch-alongs.
We've got watch-alongs for all of them.
Because all the games are on free TV, thank God.
Yeah, that is true. So we're going to have watch-alongs for all of the England games, all the Wales games, and all of the home home nations.
Yeah, if
So-
only the Premier League was free TV.
Yeah, I mean, you can always live in hope, can't you? But we're going to wrap it up there. Believe it or not, I've got the Spaniard team done. I haven't sorted out centre backs yet. I'm on to that. I'm on to that. And don't forget, we've got an extra 3 spots that we can take. It used to be a 23-man squad. Now it is a 26-man squad. We're given an extra 3, so we're going to be doing that as well. I actually need to get a thumbnail ready for that. So I'm a busy man.
And
But
I
we've
need
been going.
I need to have like alternatives ready for the stars that I think could be injured for the Euros, as well as the extra 3 spots. So I'm gonna have a busy one.
Yeah, I've purposely left out Hendo.
I'm leaving out Maguire and Henderson.
Oh no,
I think
Maguire. Well, I think Maguire might make it, but
I'm just being cautious.
yeah, he's already in mine. Because I think he'll be fit. I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
But look, we'll see. I just need to think of one centre back as I do that. But we're going to be leaving it there. A big thanks to everyone watching. As said, I'm back in 50 minutes with Transfer Talk. Big news coming out of the Premier League. So until then, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you